All right. Good afternoon. It is Mo Money Monday. And just a little plug. I don't own the rights to this music, but we're going to talk about how to change the world or how to change your world. So let's stop this music and we'll. Okay. Because how do you change the world? You can change the world one person at a time. You can change the world by doing something good to somebody. But again, it's Mo Money Monday. And today we're going to talk about how you can learn, how you can turn your specialized knowledge and talents and abilities into a business. And where I got this from, you know, I'm a reader. And so we're going to be talking from, I'm going to be kind of giving you some nuggets from this book called Expert Secrets by Russel Brunson. And there's a link in the where you can pick up this book free. All you got to do is pay shipping. But we're going to jump right into Expert Secrets, because Expert Secrets is the map that will allow you to turn your specialized knowledge, talents, and abilities into a business that'll work for you. And this is one of the shortcuts of the new rich, because everybody has knowledge and talents and abilities, and some of those things that you know or things that you have knowledge of, you can turn that into a business that you can actually earn income from. Oh, okay. I got to do a little plug here. I got my new coffee cup. I'm a little eight for you. And what I'm drinking today, I'm not drinking my ginger tea. I'm actually drinking some CBD hemp infused coffee. It is so good. And I'm going to do a shameless plug here, because this is hemp infused coffee. This is something that I do promote. And if you're interested in picking up some of this coffee, you know, you can leave me a type coffee in the comments, or you can direct message me or inbox me, and I'll get you some of this coffee, because it has CBD oil in it, which I've been talking about quite a bit. But that's one of the things that I promote. But I want to give you an example of someone who took their knowledge and their abilities and turned it into a business. And I don't know if you, my mother watches these cooking shows all the time. And one of the cooking shows she watches is this woman. She calls herself the Pioneer Woman. And if you haven't checked her out, I think it's on Food Network, and you can check out Pioneer Woman. I'm sure they got it on her website somewhere. And this lady is, I mean, all she does is cook, you know, and her husband has a ranch out somewhere out in the Midwest. But what she's done is she's taken her knowledge of cooking and she's actually turned it into a business. She's even gone to the point where she has cookware and all kinds of things that she promotes through her knowledge of cooking. So that's a perfect example of somebody who was a good cook and people loved her food. And I don't know where she decided to turn this in. I think she started out blogging, and then somewhere along the line, she ended up getting a television show. And now she also promotes her own cookware and all of these things. And I don't know what she's making, but I'm sure she's making a very good living at it because she's on television. But let's get into this. There are two types of expert businesses. Number one is selling information products, which is just about what I was talking about with the Pioneer Woman. She's selling her information and she's turned it into a product, and it's actually gotten so good that she now has a television show and she sells her own cookware, and I don't know what other products that she promotes with her brand. But that's one of the important things about branding yourself. She's branded herself as the Pioneer Woman, and it works really well for her. So another example of selling information products is inside the book. the guy who wrote this book, Russel Brunson, he had a friend called Jason Hiller. And Jason Hiller was obsessed with learning how to dunk a basketball. So what he did, he just researched all of the information he could find on how to increase his vertical jump. And then he started making videos. And, of course, he ended up, he started out with 0 subscribers on YouTube. He ended up, to 100, to 1,000, to 10,000. And, that's how easily you can start. Something in my eye. Wow. But that's how easily you could start a business, by simply taking something that you have unique or specialized knowledge in and just making YouTube videos and putting that out there. And because, what I talked with a new friend of mine yesterday about YouTube and about how you can earn income with YouTube. You can start out with a few subscribers, and people start following you and they start watching your videos, and you can actually earn income with YouTube. But I'm not going to go into that today. I may do that again on another, and I probably have done. Yeah, I have done that. I have talked about how you can earn income with YouTube by simply posting videos, but it's not quite that simple, but that's the simple explanation. But like I said, this guy, Jacob Hiller, he created this channel, and he just started putting this content out, and eventually people started resonating with him. Hey, Wanda, appreciate you coming on. And so that's the first example, is selling information products. So you can take your knowledge, your talents, and your abilities, and you can do something like create a YouTube channel and start talking about what you know about. Because like I said, YouTube is the #2 search engine. When people are looking for information, Orlando, appreciate you coming on today, brother. When people start looking for information, they used to say Google it. Now people YouTube it, because I guarantee you there are people out there who have how-to videos on almost any subject. Like I said, the conversation I had yesterday, this laptop that I'm on right now, one day I dropped it and cracked my screen. And a friend of mine said, hey, man, just go to YouTube. And somebody made a video on how to install it, because when I looked at purchasing one, they were going to charge me $100 to install it. And I'm like, I'm not paying $100. There's got to be a simpler way. So, looked it up on YouTube. It was a 10-minute video. Actually, it was 4 screws, 2 at the top, 2 on the bottom, popped it out, popped the new screen in, screwed the thing back in, connected it, boom, I'm up and running. So now the #2 way to do this is by leveraging information products to grow an existing business. Now, what that really means is that, like, say we're talking about being a consultant. Years ago, my grandfather, he was one of the founders of the first Black insurance company here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and he worked in insurance for years and years and years and years. And then he retired, but they valued him so much that they asked him to come back as a consultant. And here's the funny thing: he made more money as a consultant than he ever did when he was actively working in the business, because they valued that specialized knowledge and wisdom that he had. And he wasn't even working every day. He would come in, I think, once or twice a month. And I don't know all the details about what he was doing because I wasn't there. But as a consultant, he came in and he worked a couple of times a month, and they cut him a check. And it was more money that he had made when he was actually actively working in the business. So, I'm checking my notes here. The thing about leveraging information products and being a consultant is what you do. You can uncomplicate a business's sales process, and it becomes easy for them because they realize that they need your product or your service. You position yourself as an expert of some commodity, which is your knowledge. That's a commodity. Don't think that the things in your head aren't worth anything, because here's the truth. Everything that you have inside of you was in there either to create income or to enhance people's lives or to make things better. And when you're actually bringing value to the marketplace, if you're making lives better with the things and the knowledge that you have, you can expect to be compensated for that. And finally, when you do these kinds of things, you can acquire unlimited customers, and you can help them grow faster and yourself faster, because once the word gets out, hey, JL's an expert at such and such, you need to check him out, and people start talking about it, and you put yourself out there as an expert, don't think that you're not an expert at something. So, I want you to realize that you have knowledge, you have talents, you have abilities. And if you have been looking for a way to start a business, that's a good way to start a business, is go with the knowledge that you already have. So you don't have to learn something in order to turn it into a business. But, right, I already read that. I already said that. But again, I'm going to be going through this book a little bit. I'm not going to give you every little secret in here, because just like me, I'm a reader and I read a lot of books. And this is a book that I highly recommend. There is a link right here on the live where you can go pick it up, and you can get it 100% free. You don't have to pay for the book. All you got to do is pay for the shipping. And another thing, if you saw here at the top, the foreword was written by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you've ever been in business for yourself, or you've ever been in the online thing or anything like that, even if you're not, Robert Kiyosaki is the guy who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So if you haven't heard of him, you might want to go check that book out as well. But that lets you know that this book is not a fly-by-night thing. This is something that you really should invest in, because when we're talking about personal development, especially when you're an entrepreneur. What's up, cuz? Appreciate you coming on today. If you don't invest in your personal development, if you don't grow your mind, if you don't grow your skill sets, because that's usually where people fail, especially with the online thing, but even in brick and mortar businesses, if you don't up your skill sets, if you don't learn how to market, if you don't learn how to serve people properly, your business is going to struggle. Oh man, that coffee is really, really good. I just got it today, and I really like this coffee, because now it doesn't have a lot of the CBD oil in it. I think it's only got, let's read the box. It said it only has, oh, can't hardly see that. It only has 2.8 grams of CBD per serving. And this is instant coffee, guys. You don't have to brew it. All you got to do is, get your water hot and pour it instant. It's instant coffee, and it smells really good. It tastes really good. Now, I put some honey in mine, because that's just what I use for sweetener. I don't use sugar. But like I said, getting back to the book, go pick the book up, especially if you are interested in growing your business, whether it's online or offline. This book is going to actually teach you how to grow a following, and how to create a mass movement of people who are going to pay you for your advice. Now, who wouldn't want to get paid to tell people something that's going to benefit them? Because that's the law of reciprocity. If you're giving out good information, you have an expectation, and it's reciprocal. You can expect to earn money from that. You can expect blessings to flow from that. Just like I was talking with a new friend of mine yesterday, there's a Bible principle that says, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. And what that means to me is that if you're in a giving mode, if you're willing to give and not always look to take from people, you can have a reasonable expectation to be blessed from that. Because I got blessed yesterday, and I was overwhelmed. It just took me by surprise that this person would bless me in the way that they did. But again, that's pretty much all that I have for you today. I will be on again on Thursday for Thoughtful Thursdays. We're going to continue going over this book. Again, pick up the book. It would be better if you got the book and kind of followed along with me. I don't know how much I'm going to go through with it, but I'm going to give you some information that hopefully you can use. And I pray that you take it and give it some good thought, and think about ways that you can use the knowledge that you already have and turn it into something that can earn you some extra income. Because you can't tell me an extra $100 or $200 a month wouldn't make your life better. All right, so remember my motto: the shortest distance between your dreams and reality is called action. So take some action. Get the book. Love, peace, and hair grease.